Hello folks, welcome to another current affairs session, okay, where we will be discussing, okay, the overview of your June month current affairs, okay. Now, a lot of things are happening in the current affairs, okay, meaning even a smallest of small things that are happening now in the international medium, okay. What do I mean by international medium? See, now we are in a zone, okay. Now we are in a geopolitical space where there is Russian-Ukraine war is still going on. Your Israel Hamas came in. Now it is Israel Hezbollah. Okay. Amidst this, there are sanctions, huge amount of sanctions people are trying to put on each other. Along with this, okay, there is power play by your politics and your politicians. Okay. Same period of time, we have your US Fed rate cuts, gold prices are soaring, inflation is higher, humanitarian grounds pay, okay, so much atrocities are committed that countless lives are lost, okay. The nations nowadays are becoming, okay, by nowadays in this present geopolitical climate they are becoming so conscious, okay, that first and foremost thing that they feel they have to do is protect and secure their nation, okay. Same thing, see, this is true for any country and the same is for India also. So what happening is, amidst these things in our South Asian bloc, we are having concerns from China, we are having concerns from Pakistan. To add to the woes with the ongoing things, we have another dude standing up and dancing on his head. That is the Canada. Okay, so Canada issues are also trying to come. In this period of time, how India is trying to, okay, protect its nation and its people and its interest, but not at the cost of others, okay. Despite all this happening also, we are still adhering to the fact of our Indian saying, say Vasudev Kutumbakam, where the world is my home, the world is my family. We are still the only few countries left, or the remnants, who are still trying to fight for the sustainable co-living, okay. So current affairs, now knowing more, becomes a matter of importance not just for your UPSC exam but also for you to develop a perspective on things, okay. That will be it with respect to your interview panel, mains answer. If you have to give an educated opinion, then now it becomes more of an interest than ever before in knowing and analyzing and understanding the current affairs. It's not just, I go through current affairs, I'm going to by heart some facts and then I'm going to know. That is not going to work, especially in present day geopolitical climate, and especially in the stages of time that we are, which is a very delicate period of time. Almost the countries are all like a ticking time bombs, okay. See, first of all, no, the world as we live in right now, the present 2024, should not have been like this because of globalization. 1990s world opened up, globalization everywhere, your LPG era, liberalization, privatization, everything came in, right? Which means we are trying to foster your mixed economy, which means more and more stress would be laid towards ease of doing business. Your business should be done in a peaceful manner where everyone benefits. So mutual benefit was the concept. In such a position where all the countries, or at least majority countries, are fostering and imbibing on the idea of mixed economy, trying to benefit, okay, through various ways, this war came at a place and time and is progressing despite our strong adherence to mixed economy. Understanding? So this makes it now more important than ever before. Alright? Without further ado, we'll start it. So today the first thing we'll be speaking about is your UN peacekeeping force. Okay, like I've been telling you, now more than ever is the need of your current affairs for every single thing. It means answer writing, essay writing, interview panel, ethics, case studies, etc. Alright. UN peacekeeping force, UN is an international organization, you know that, and also you have something called as UNSC Security Council, which is where power is more concentrated. Okay, see the word I'm using, UNSC power is concentrated here. We've spoken about your UNSC in previous current affairs class also, where we have your P5, okay, plus 10 non-permanent members. Yes, the 5 permanent members being your USA, UK, France, Russia, China. We also spoke about how India, okay, was the forefront runner in trying to, okay, pick China as a candidate for your permanent council. And today, China is the one guy who's trying to prevent us in entering your UNSC. Yes, your UN peacekeeping force is a very important part of your UNSC, okay, where they deploy troops and police, and it is a mandate for every country, or that is every member country, to provide troops and police. Okay, recently we even sent the first being in 2007 onwards, okay, to be more specific. We also started deploying women into the force, and India is one of the strongest proponents and strongest contributors for your UN peacekeeping force, okay. And recently Indian personnel lost life in the line of duty, where he was awarded the DAG medal, okay. When India is asking for a permanent membership in UNSC, its claims are justified to a very large extent. Okay, the number of lives that is lost and the number of work that is did by India in trying to bolster and foster international peace and security, no other country has been able to do it as well as India during, okay, I'm not telling no other country can do it, no, during this conflict times and in this region that we are in, okay, and in the present geopolitical climate, okay, India is doing a bang up job. All right, so according to UN charter, every member charter is legally obligated, okay, to pay their respective share for peacekeeping. We have been one of the strongest proponents in sending our forces for the UN peacekeeping, okay, and we are the first one to deploy your all women contingent, okay, since 2007. One thing about your UN peacekeeping forces, they are not just there, okay, in a particular place, all right, Sudan, okay, in all these places they are not just there for making sure we are going to go fight there or stop the fight. One example I'll give you with respect to your Sudan and your other war torn countries also you can take, where Indian veterinarians, okay, are helping the member state countries whose cattle and livestock are dying because of hunger and malnutrition. Dying because of what? Malnutrition. And war torn countries, this is very common, where food is not there for people consumption only. Where will they have enough to feed the livestock? And there are people whose entire livelihood depends upon these things, okay. The Indian veterinarians have been playing a positive proactive role in these places, and also they have been conducting and organizing medical camps, okay. First of all, again, war torn countries pay, you do not have basic amenities to live, okay, and your healthcare is a basic amenity, okay. This is being provided by your Indian members of your peacekeeping force, and also peacekeeping force does try to do these activities, okay. Not just the veterinarian, okay, we told you veterinarian, right, alongside they are trying to provide health care, all right. So they are, whatever is in the job description, they're just supposed to do that, right, but they are also trying to do a proactive role towards betterment of people, okay. The next topic we'll be talking about your is your kafala system, okay. which is very much prevalent in your GCC or your Gulf countries. So what is kafala system? Okay, and with this has been, you would have heard of this recent movie that came up. I think it's called The Goat Life or something. I'm not very sure of the name, but on something on that lines. Okay, a possible question on this particular topic could be, discuss the kafala system prevalent in Gulf countries and its working. Okay, which means you have to first define what a kafala system means. So first we'll discuss the question, then we'll discuss the answers for this. Okay, again, one of the thing is, it's come into recent news. We also have a movie about it. I'm not telling because we have a movie about it it's important, but it is coming more into light. Limelight is one other reason is one of the Gulf country. Okay, many people died due to short circuiting. Okay, they died due to short circuit. See, countless lives being lost too. Okay, conditions which were so trivial, which could have been prevented. Okay, and that too, they've been going to a separate country for looking for employment opportunities so that they could survive and make sure that their family could stay. See, unemployment is there on a rise everywhere because of the geopolitical climate that we are in, and despite that you have to earn somehow, make money, and at the end of the day, what do all of us want? Make sure we have a life to lead with dignity and be there for our loved ones. That is the same thing that they are also trying to do, but they are trying to do that in a different country where they cannot go with their family members. I'll tell you why they can't take their family and everything, and all they are trying to do is just lead a life, earn a living, and they die because of lack of amenities, lack of care, and your careless mistakes. Okay, poor unhygienic conditions. Okay, and recently again this kafala system came into news. One, we saw people lost their lives in your Gulf countries. One thing was short circuit, Indian people who've gone there as migrants. Another thing is as many as 40 people, okay, to 17 people. Lot of scenarios we can say. 40 people died because of this, 17 people died because of that, 30 people died because of that. People are dying and dying and dying, and if you look at the reasons, this reason was because of fire. Why? One simple safety could not be adhered to. Okay, so people are losing valuable, precious lives because of these kind of things. Anyway, so coming back to the question, kafala system prevalent in Gulf countries and it's working, which means you have to define what is kafala system, and as it is posted in the question, it is more common in the Gulf countries. Okay, one thing about your Gulf countries is, okay, majorly of their population, majorly it will be your immigrants, that is people who have gone to work there. Okay, amongst that Indians are the largest in number. Okay, what vulnerabilities are faced by the Indian diaspora due to this system? Okay, highlight in the context of recent fire in Kuwait. This could be a possible question. Alright, now let's just discuss in detail about this. I'd suggest write down this question. Okay, write down this question, then we'll continue with explaining as to what it is. Done? Alright, we'll continue. First and foremost, kafala system very predominant in your Gulf countries. Okay, according to kafala system, okay, I'll keep it as simple as possible. For a person to survive, okay, leave all these things, just understand what I'm trying to tell. For a person to survive, he needs Food, clothing. Yes, he needs food, clothing, roof on top of his head. Yes, simple things being food, clothing, shelter. This is like basic 6th standard NCERT pe where you will see for a human being what is needed to survive. Food, clothing, shelter, clean water. These are like primal things, which means this is like not even considered as these things should be there. Then it is like these things are mandatory. Okay, because if you're a human being, whether you're a human being, animal or anything, these are the things. If you're a living being, you need that. Okay, that much you understand, right? All this, okay, consider this person is this Indian migrant who's gone to work in your Gulf countries. Alright, now this person needs this. Yes, all this of this person is controlled by his employer. Okay, that is in this case Kuwait. This condition is prevalent in all the Gulf countries, okay, but because we are speaking with respect to Kuwait, this is what is kafala system. You are understanding this? Yes or no? I just want you, okay, this the system is there, okay. Your Indian government is also trying on its part to tell, oh, why don't you liberalize little bit, why don't you give them a basic minimum wage, everything. So things are happening. In the comment section, just let me know, do you think kafala system is good, is it fair, or should it be practiced, or do you think some actions are needed to be taken on the kafala system? Okay. Alright. Let's take this person, okay, from India has gone to Kuwait. Once he goes to Kuwait, all his papers, documents which are needed to leave the country, stay in the country, etc., falls into the hands of employer. If you have to survive there, okay, you have something called as minimum wage. Yes, you have something called as minimum wage, which is bare minimum necessity needed to take care of you to progress your life. Purposefully, this amount is kept very low, okay, so as to on these vulnerable sections. Why I'm telling vulnerable is these are mandatory for a living being, right? For this person has to depend on him, okay, which gives him, okay, alarmingly high control rate on this particular person. Fine. Now, if this itself is the condition for him, from where will he get his family to live with him? Yes. So, majority of them, okay, are housed in a place which are having very subpar conditions, subpar living conditions. Okay, which means something that is not having, okay, a habitable place, or it is not having a necessary things checked, such as your fire, electricity malfunctioning, short circuiting. All this are basic things that you have to get it checked, right? And even the employers greed, when the authorities were consulted as to how did this happen, they said it is the employers greed, and they wanted to cut down cost. You want to cut down cost at the cost of people's lives, okay? And if there is any talks about no, we should unionize these migrant workers, some sort of rights should be given to them. That is a strict no-no for your Gulf countries. They don't want to negotiate on that. Okay? Complex laws and practices that grant all the power to the state and citizens, treating individual migrants as temporary. Okay? Even though their labor is nearly permanently needed. See, one thing is, today we just saw, right? Kuwait ka fires happened, these many people died. Now, very easily, they hire new people for that role. We allow these things to continue without having any effective remedy for that, then the same thing who are coming, the fresh batch which is going to come in, is also almost going to face the same issue. Yes, lives are lives, no? Whatever color the lives are lives. Everyone's lives matter, right? Now, with respect to Kuwait, 70% of its population is foreigners. Okay, we kept speaking GCC, right? Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, Kuwait, right? All these countries follow this kafala system, and they do not want to dilute this system. They do not want to dilute the system, which means they want to continue the system as it is. Otherwise, they feel like the loss of power or ownership over them. That is your migrants. I think that is one of the reasons why they are not ready to dilute the power or in the unionization of. Understanding? Your government is trying maximum, telling that, oh, why don't you, okay, make sure you have some form of a checkup, that is a building checkup. You're going to house them all together in one place, right? Why don't you have that place checked? And they've also asked, why don't you release the names of those people who died, 40 people, 40 odd people whose lives got taken away due to this fire mishap? It is, do you think it is very likely that they will do that? Okay, it's very unlikely that they would publish the names. Rather, easily another 40 people would be taken to hire. Okay, but the people who lost their lives will be, okay, addressed and telecast in your Indian media. And also, Indian government is trying to do from its part as to how not to repeat this thing in the future. Okay, on the same front, work and residence visa are both in the control of your employer. Okay, which means they cannot easily leave. Okay, and all their living conditions, all their existing conditions, which are very basic in nature, are also tied upon them only. That is under the control of your employer. Your employee's life is linked, or a greater control is exercised by the employer. Understanding? This is why kafala system is still prevalent, and they do not want to discuss on that particular thing as to any changes could it be brought in. Alright. We enter into the next topic, that is RBI's aspirational goals for India's fast growing economy. We've entered into GS paper 3, where we discuss on the economic aspects. Very soon RBI is going to hit the centenary, RBI at 100. Okay, so RBI has certain aspirational goals for one of the largest fast tracking democracies, that is India. What are its aspirations? Again, it is not telling all this is done and dusted. This is the goals it has for the country. Yeah. Alright. We'll see what are those. First thing is capital account convertibility. One thing they are seeing is they need full capital account convertibility, full or complete capital account convertibility. What does it mean? Unrestricted conversion of your rupee and foreign currency. it should be easy and free flow of money, and also, okay, your foreign people, foreign nationals, foreign countries should also be encouraged and should be easily be able to convert and use rupee. Conversion of rupee to any other currency also should be in a very unrestricted and complete manner. Okay, that is your capital account convertibility. Non-resident transactions, like I said previously, your rupee has to be encouraged to be used in all the foreign international conversions, foreign international transactions. Okay, here it is. The first thing was national, we could easily convert it to international also. Non-resident transactions, which means foreign and international transactions has to be carried out. Okay, again, when you tell how international transactions should be made into rupees, it is a very good thing. Yes, it will boost our economy, it will boost our status. Yes, but at the same point of time, the amount of transactions that happens in rupee in the global field, if you see, it's very less compared to the, okay, currency in the money basket. Understanding? Digital payment systems, RDGS, NEFT, okay. With during your demonetization, we were all, okay, given a chance to start into the we were not even given a chance, we were put into the digital environment, okay, where we had to digitize our mechanisms. Yes, slowly digitization has crept into our country, but effectively has it crept into, that is where the debate lies. Majority thinks is one of the issues with respect to digital payment system is digital literacy. Still majority chunk, and especially the most vulnerable sections, let's say your elderly, okay, they are yet to be digitally literate. Okay, this creates a gap. Okay, this creates a digital gap in visualizing this dream. Okay, one other issue we have associated with this is cyber security, data leaks, frauds, okay, ways of taking your information. Okay, and which section is more prone to this? Again, your elderly. One again reason is digital literacy. Okay, so we will discuss its aspiration as well as the issues associated with it. Okay, what is the issue it has in doing that? Fine. What is another aspiration? Banking sector alignment. Okay, it wants the growth of banking sector to be integrated with national economic development. Okay, yes, banking sector alignment to the national economic development is a very ambitious project. The reason I'm telling it is very ambitious is because first and foremost, our banking sector ka health, if you look at it, it is very strained. Okay, why am I calling it is very strained? First and foremost, we have excessive bad loans or your NPS, non-performing assets. Okay, a recovery becoming a hard-held task. Alongside this, we have this willful defaulters, people taking adequate money who have the ability to pay back and then, okay, leave and escape the country. We will be talking more on this in the upcoming topics also, but here we'll just introduce the terms. All right. Another thing is monetary policy, economic stability. Yes, of all the thing, the economic stability is the most important thing alongside with growth. Growth coupled with stability, okay, here economic growth and economic stability is the only answer for us during this unprecedented times. These are very uncertain times. Yes. Now, like we said, gold prices are soaring, commodity prices are soaring. There is huge issues with your crude oil prices. All this is happening. Price rise is havocing everything. In this period of time, okay, if you do not have stability, okay, stability less growth, okay, just growth is not alone considered as necessary for a country. Stable growth is very important. Understanding? Trade, investment, standardization, these are pretty much very essential. Okay. Now we'll just see what is the associated challenges in this. First thing is your Triffin dilemma. What is it? Stability in domestic economy while meeting global demand. This is what I told you. Stability in the economy is very much needed while during our unprecedented times or your uh, uncertain times. Okay, because if not corrected, if not proactive measures are taken, if not corrective measures are taken, if no corrective measure, again this topic pe also we will be talking further. uh, to be on the light, 1990s we had BOP crisis. Yes, now we do not have any BOP crisis as of now, but we are also witnessing something like excessive, like again time and again I'm bringing this topic up. The gold rates are surging, crude oil prices are surging, at the same point of time your sanctions have been put on Russia, sanctions have been put on, okay, their assets, freezing of assets are happening. 1990 India took its gold, pledged it and took money to run the country. Today whatever gold it has stored in the other country is getting it back to the country. Understanding? So this is almost the opposite. Your 2024 pair scenarios are happening with respect to India. Okay, what was once the contrast it had in your 1990s? Understanding? Here we are trying to be more safe, we are more trying to be secure, meaning in simpler terms, if it was let's say if we're going to consider India as an individual position, if you are going to put with all uncertainties, what you try to do, you save up and make sure your rainy day fund is secured, and also you make sure you do not do any wasteful spendings, which means you know everything is rising in price, so you have to be very cautious. So when I mean stable economic growth, it you have to be cautious about the things happening surrounding, and then you have to provide the corrective measures to make sure you do not fall into the trap of debt, you do not fall into the trap that you once fell. Understanding? So this is the different dilemma that we face. Alongside is your exchange rate volatility, okay, the value of rupee and also the price in the present climate of geopolitical hot spot it is, each day it is a different condition. Okay, our prices are changing according to the international events. Market share of again like we discussed in the previous condition, India's share in the, okay, global transaction is very less, hardly 1 to 2%. Okay, they're hardly having 1 to 2%. There is no doubt India is on the path to a very high growing economy, but at the same point of time, okay, yes, our pay value is there, but that much amount of transaction in our particular currency is also not happening. Okay, cyber security risk is very much prevalent now more than ever, and the targeted audience, okay, is your MIG, LIG. I mean they target everyone, but large sufferers from your cyber security attacks is your MIG and LIG families, low income group, middle income group families. Banking sector health is very strained. We saw in the previous condition, and further also we will discuss this. Okay, so what is a way forward for this? What can we do for this? Okay, first thing is, according to the Tarapur committee recommendation, achieve full convertibility by 2060. Domestic banking expansion, this is very very important. Okay, but alongside that, if you have to do this possible, okay, that is domestic bank expansion has to happen. One of the main reasons you have to bring in is bring in public trust. How do you bring in? See, if at all you create banking institutions and due to NPS, due to mismanagement, due to misappropriation of funds, okay, if they keep on defaulting and taking off hard earned people come money, and you on the same contrast side, you see willful defaulters fleeing from the country, how do you think they are going to trust in any banking? Or how do you think they're going to trust on the government? Right? So your public trust has to be gained for your domestic bank expansion, and also alongside this, you cannot stress this enough about digital literacy. Okay, banking concepts, okay, has to be explained, right? Monetary framework policy, climate risk and resilience measures. This is what we kept speaking on and on and on. Okay, resilience measures and climate risks. Now this is the need of the hour more than ever. Okay, right, understood up until here? Any doubts? Online class, offline class? Okay, we'll move ahead to next topic, duty drawback scheme. Okay, what is this duty drawback scheme? This is managed by your Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs to support exports. Okay, this comes under your Customs Act of 1962. I want you to write this down. This is important. Done? Okay. See, first thing about your, look at the name itself, duty drawback scheme. Okay, and this is by your Board of Indirect Taxes. Understanding? What do you think they do? Look at this. Assists exporters in offsetting costs incurred during the export process. See, first and foremost, okay, if you have to see, these topics are very interconnected. The previous topic, this topic, now we will be speaking about your willful defaulters. Okay, are trying to revive the banking sector. Okay, trying to bring it to build the public trust. All these are interconnected topics. Here we discuss it in different headings, but otherwise they are interconnected. When you're telling exports and imports, so always understand one thing about a country. If you have to increase, okay, a country's finances, if you have to increase the country's self-sufficiency, if you have to go towards self-sufficiency, as well as, okay, as well as promote entrepreneurship, okay, as well as bolster the spirit of, okay, business, okay, then one way is through your exports. Okay, the exports you has to be increased. It brings additional, okay, advantages alongside it. Now we are made in India, invest in India. Yes, all this is somewhere on that lines. That is about business getting into India. But again, right, when you have things which is of a good quality and you produce it and you have to use it as a supply chain, which means send it to other countries, then your exports will come into place. If you have to increase and give yourselves a supply chain, presently the supply chain giant or supply chain market, the leading person is your China. Okay, and if India has to counter, okay, based on this, and this year your UPSC question paper 2 polity 2024 mains pay, they had asked this question especially with supply chain. I'll read out the question to you also. Okay, so to do that, export promotion is very very important. Okay, and one such thing is, we have in our exports we have issues, okay, which are coming from very high end to some things which are minor. Okay, one such thing is your offsetting costs incurred, okay, in your supply chain or your value chain practices. To protect them against that, your duty drawback scheme is there. I will now read out the question, okay, that was posed in your 2024 UPSC mains paper 2 question. Okay, look at this. Let me write this question. Okay, fine. I'll just read it out. The West is fostering India as an alternative to reduce dependence on China's supply chain and as a strategic ally to counter China's political and economic dominance. Explain this statement with examples. Okay, this was asked for your 10-mark question. Understanding? What is the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs? Okay, on the, okay, department we will be seeing what are the roles it does. First of all, it constitutes your Department of Revenue under Ministry of Finance. Alright, important, note it down. Important from your prelims perspective also. Write that down. Okay, now it deals with, okay, the Central Board of Indirect Taxes deals with all the issues, okay, or all the, okay, all the topics related to indirect taxes, collection, levy. All right, okay, what forms its parts? Custom duty, excise duty, okay, Central Goods and Service Tax, that is your CGST, and Integrated Goods and Service Tax, that is your IGST. Understanding? This is also very very important. Please write this down. Done? Clear up until here? Any doubts? If any doubts, please comment in the comment section. Alright? Okay? I'm assuming nothing. We'll move ahead. The next topic that we will be talking about is household consumption expenditure survey. Now, this is very important from your prelims perspective also. They can directly ask who releases your consumption expenditure survey. Household consumption. First thing, it's released by your Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Write this down, important, but it is carried out by a National Statistic Officer and it is conducted once in every 5 years. Understanding? See, what exactly do you think they are trying to do here? Simple, as the name states, household consumption expenditure. Now let's take state wise. Okay, if you take state wise, they are just going to find out which state with regard to, okay, food and non-food items. Okay, with regard to food and non-food items, fine, which state is spending how much on what? Clear? Which state spending how much and on what? Simple, that's it. Now let's say for example Tamil Nadu. Okay, if we take Tamil Nadu, majoritarily it was spending on food and beverages. Okay, whereas if you take a state like your Haryana, okay, compared to all the other states, it was spending more on its dairy sector. Understanding? This is just to give you an idea as to how the household consumption survey is. That is, it's as simple. The household items which are consumables, which could be food or non-food items, how are they spent? A particular state. It's conducted once in every 5 years. By whom? Who conducts it? National Statistical Office, and that report is released by your Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay? Clear up until here? Fine. What is the reason for doing that? Why are you seeing that which state consumes what? What are you going to do with it? Okay? That is a very key question which we would be using, okay, to analyze first the consumption pattern. Second, it is also used for one main thing, that is poverty rates. Understanding? Please write this down. This is very important. Clear up until here? We'll move ahead to the next topic, that is your pump and dump scheme. This pump and dump scheme came into your news or discussion is because your SEBI, okay, your SEBI had slapped huge amount of fines on companies which practiced pump and dump. Okay, this concept we'll see what it is. Okay, we'll see what pump and dump is, but no, understand one thing. SEBI had almost fined up to 7.7 crores. For practicing this. Okay, and according to our SEBI, practice of pump and dump is completely prohibited. Okay, it's completely prohibited. What is this? Before going through anything, understand this thing. Let's say in your stocks, shares, right? You have certain stocks called as penny stocks. Okay, penny stocks means something that has low value, trade value. Okay, which is of okay, write it down here. Low trade value. It is usually small to mid cap. Okay, small to mid cap. Okay, the public awareness on this is not very much. I'll tell you why also. Okay, the public awareness on this particular company stocks are also not much because it is small to mid cap. You do not have access to much information or public information on this particular small and mid cap. Okay, companies are very less. Okay, so what is this pump and dump scheme? Now there are few people, entities, companies whose whole point is buy this stocks, penny stocks. Okay, now when you buy something like this, when they buy it, it is not they're buying it because it has good growth value, it has good potential to grow, not on that. This is a very malicious practice trying to make money for yourself. It's nothing about the company shares or the people's money or the fact that okay, you're earning money through a business model of ethics, nothing as such. The reason I'm telling that, I'll give you an explanation also. You buy penny stocks, okay? You buy the penny stocks, I'll explain what it is. You buy large quantities of that. You buy large quantities of that, and then you start your race. What is it? You start giving exaggerated details about it. You start sending newsletters. You start sending all the issues, exaggerated claims telling this pay you put money and that much it came off. When you start exaggerating something so much and then you start making the people aware of this stock. But aware of the stock for what? This stock I put money in, now I am minting money. Okay, claims are very exaggerated. It's not necessarily true, and mostly it's not true. But you tell that so that people now will be tempted to buy that. Okay, but because they've bought large stake in that, they've bought large amount of shares, and they've rallied the people behind the shares, automatically the price will go up. Okay, price will go up to very large high levels. When it is at this stage, these people will start selling everything to them and those will fall. Once they realize the actual worth of the stock, which is useless, the stocks will fall. Okay, whereas the people who ended up spending exorbitant money to buy those will end up losing. Okay, see, now you can tell, so what, these people should understand before buying the stock. They should do all sort of uh, planning, research, everything before buying stocks, etc. Everything. Yes, that is all true. Based on the same thing, we'll discuss this other topic just because this similar concept. You know, this cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, all the coins. When it started coming all over the world, the cryptocurrency, it was very lucrative. Okay, it was very lucrative. As in people, the name spread only like this. No, I just put around 100 bucks today. I'm having 10 lakhs. When this was told, majority, this is the sad part about it. Majority of the people who put their life income savings on that were all your MIG, lower MIG, middle MIG, okay, LIG groups. They put all this money in the hopes that they can make money. It is not greed that they were motivated by. Okay, I'm not telling it for everyone, but majority chunk when people invest in it, which is why your government had to come in and step in and regulate your cryptocurrency. Okay, the majority people who kept losing, who didn't know about these tactics, were innocent people who put their life savings in the hopes that this would give good amount of money, okay, with which I can either afford my child's education, with which I could afford the healthcare, with which I can get my child married, all these common things that our society faces. But at the end of the day, because of these kind of sharks, the people who, okay, face the loss from either be it your penny stocks or your pump and dump scheme or your cryptocurrency which goes unregulated. We don't know how the market works. Adequate research is not done. But only one thing that people have is somewhere on that belief. I'm not telling everyone, but it's majority chunk of the innocent people. The belief is somewhere I can get money. Somehow I get to make money. At least in this ways I'll be able to take care of my family. At least in this way I can afford the things for my family. Okay, and when these people are the ones who lose out the money, that becomes very hard. Again, on the same topic, we will talk about your willful defaulters. Yeah, willful defaulters are again people who have the ability to pay back, but they won't pay. Rather, they take the money and escape to other countries. Whereas people who work, okay, for your bread, hand to mouth existence is there. Those people, when they are caught up in this loans, the fact that they have to pay while repaying the loans, okay, the humiliation that is regarded associated with it, the lives that are lost associated with it, okay, the crutches are too higher for your middle income group and lower income group families compared to the other section. I'm not telling higher income group families don't have it, not that way. All I'm trying to tell is your willful defaulters on one side and people dying because of not able to repay their loans, people trying to lose their self-respect, okay, getting humiliated in the society, okay, and here people just making money out of these stocks while people, okay, who invested it, again, not everyone, I'm telling, there are innocent individuals who end up losing money like this. Okay, now these kind of things are considered as illegal. How is it they start? First, stock acquisition, okay, by large quantities of stock, or that is your penny stocks. Aggressive promotion, okay, increase the demand, falsely increase the demand, and then sell off under the higher price. Then the people who bought it are ending up with loss. Understanding? This is about your pump and dump scheme. Understood? Any doubts? Just move ahead. Lookout circulars. Okay, this concept was introduced by your RBI. Okay, your RBI introduced this, wherein the banks have to, as the name states, look out, be on a lookout, be on a watch, keep people on a tab, keep them or put a watchful eye on them. To do what? So that the willful defaulters will not leave and run to other countries. Okay. The issuing authority is Bureau of Immigration, that is your Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay. They also held that your banks can also issue this. What is this? Lookout circulars. When this was told that your Bombay High Court struck it down, telling No, the authority to even issue the lookout circular has to be followed in a particular protocol. But then again, government reinstated telling no, your banks can issue your lookout circulars. Understanding? Again, what is a willful defaulter or who constitutes a willful defaulter? Anyone who has taken, let's say, a loan from a bank, public sector bank. Okay. Now he has to, because he has taken a loan from that bank, he has to repay that loan. Yes. Now this individual, he's taken the loan from the bank. Now he has the ability to pay this loan. He took a loan from the bank and he has the ability to repay that loan. Okay, he has the ability to repay that loan, but he won't. He chooses not to. Why? Sick mentality. Okay, he chooses not to repay the loan. This person will be called as willful defaulter. Defaulter means you're defaulting on paying your loan. And how are you doing that? Willfully. You have complete conscience that you are purposefully not paying the loan and you are in an ability to repay that loan. Understanding? This is willful defaulter. Understanding? Since 2018, banks were also empowered to issue your lookout circular against the individuals who are posing an economic risk. Understanding? Clear up until here? Alright. Now, with regard to willful defaulting, taking money, enough loans from the country, fleeing the country, where India doesn't have extradition with that country, all this are followed. To prevent those kind of things, or at least what were the existing laws is your Surface Law, Companies Act of 2013, and Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. Write this down, it's important. Alright, let's move on to the next topic. This is the topic that we initially discussed. Repatriation of gold, meaning, look at this, we are bringing back over 100 tons of gold from UK to its domestic vaults for this. Like I told you, this condition that we are doing, it is opposite to what we did in 1990, that is during our BOP crisis, where we took the gold from our vaults, pledged it to get money. Understanding? Clear up until here? 2024 pe what is happening is, India will always have some assets, in the form of gold, in the form of dollars, or in the form of cash. We also have sovereign bonds, etc. Where the gold that we have, it's split two ways. First, we have some amount of gold in our domestic vault, and few we keep it in the foreign banks. Alright. Now what happened is, during your Russia-Ukraine war, because Russia was not listening to the heed of your Western countries, they put Russia in sanctions, which means they froze the Russian asset. asset belongs to Russia. But when you tell the asset is frozen, which means you cannot, let's say you have some emergency, you have your asset, gold or liquid or form of money or anything, you want to use it but you can't use it, they have frozen that asset, which means you yourself cannot use and access your assets. Understanding? Amidst this tensions that is going on side Russia, Ukraine, one side Israel, Hamas, one side Israel, Hezbollah. So as in every day this crisis is increasing. Yes, our asset, gold is an asset. Yes, so we have kept part of our asset in the foreign banks. We decided to bring this asset back to our domestic world. We are not going and getting the British people ka gold, our gold only, but it is kept in the foreign banks. Why? Because see, we are also part of the top 5 big central banks or RBI. Okay, we have to do things that is better for our country and which we also have to prepare for our rainy day in case one arises. Okay, and also like I told you, the gold rates are rising like crazy. So it would be better for us if we get it back to us, our country, our vault. In my vault, no one is going to freeze my assets, right? It's mine. I can do whatever I want with it. No one can put sanctions on me. Yes, no one can freeze my assets in my own house, right? That is the concept. Okay. In your 2015, India had the gold reserves worth full of 500 million. Okay, presently we'll see how much it is. We have 822 tons of gold, of which 408 tons is stored domestic vault pay and 413 tons is stored in your Bank of England or Bank of International Settlements. Alright, this is the total gold that is held by India as of 2024. Okay, now where is our gold source? What are the reserves that we are having? Okay, that also we'll just have a look at it. Major locations being your Bihar, Rajasthan, Karnataka, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh and Jharkhand. Among all, Karnataka contributes to almost 80% of gold's output, and also our KGF, not the movie, the Kolar gold fields are the world's oldest and deepest gold mines there is. Alright, clear up until here? Why is RBI moving the gold back to India? First is value stability. Right now, like I mentioned, the prices have gone crazy, and also it could lead to potential gains if you want. Yes, again another thing, sanctions and asset security. When it is in a foreign bank, when they have access to that, I'm not telling they'll come, they'll take few gold bars and go. What I'm telling is they have the capability to, because it is in another bank, because our asset is not with us, anyone can, like how they did to Russia. Okay, let's say the West will tell, do not buy, okay, things from Russia. We go ahead and buy it. This angers the West. What do you think they'll do? Freeze our asset. So when situation comes where we need it, we won't be able to access it. Yes. So to prevent all these things, you're moving part of the gold, not all of it, part of it back. And also it is considered as a safe investment method, because any point of time when there is international upheaval going on, when there is excessive turmoil and uncertainty, this is there since very long ago. Whenever there is a turmoil or uncertainty in the market, either all the prices will crash or all the prices will gain, volatility will be observed. Okay, market goes volatile and also the currency ka value might decrease. But despite all this, when this happens, the price of gold will increase. Okay, which makes it a safe bet. Understanding? Clear up until here? Any doubts? Okay. Enter into the next topic. Women in corporate. Okay. The position of women and even the percentage of women in the corporate leadership is becoming very less, and it is stagnant and staying situated to be below 30%. Why? Now that opens up a can of worms since ages and centuries. There is a reduction of hiring women in the leadership roles. Why? Firstly, gendered society we are. See, biological selection. Okay, your biological selection is done by your nature. Understanding? Whereas your gender, it's simple to put it, sex is nature picked, gender is society picked. Understanding? So our gender, our society has created this gender, and also it has given associated roles to the gender. If you belong to this particular gender, then this is the role you will perform in the society. Okay, which has led to gender stereotyping. Whether you're good at it or not, whether you want to do that or not, whether you like to do that or not, that is not the topic. You are born a male, you will do this. You are born a female, you will do this. Okay. There was this essay question, I guess. Women are burdened with expectation and men are burdened with demands. Excuse me. Both of which are equally harmful to the society. Excuse me. Hello, online class. Okay. Both of which, see, when we say the pressure that is put by the society, they have put equal amount of pressure for both your male as well as female. Society didn't leave anyone happy or peaceful. Okay, they had to put constraints on everyone. So your gender stereotype, like they say, it brings out a very clear, nice picture. The expectation on the girls and the demands on the boys. Okay, this is true. Let me put this two conditions. There's a girl, there's a boy. The girl wants to go out and work. Wants to. The boy rather has a good affinity towards cooking. Okay, he wants to pursue his, okay, because he feels good when he does it, probably. Okay, I'm not telling everyone, but this is also a probable condition. He enjoys when he cooks, or when he feels that he wants to progress in that. Okay, he just wants to feed for the family, care for the family. Okay, so do you think, okay, do you think our society is very open and welcoming about that? There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay, each one of us can follow what we want to, and that is what we should, is at least what we are told. But do you think our gender is very reciprocative about this concept? No, they tell, no, you guys are supposed to do the opposite roles. You as a woman, whether you like it or not, you will do the other work. And you as a man, whether you like it or not, you will do the other role. Okay, so with our choice, our freedom is taken away from us. For this section, the women, the conditions, okay, are more understanding, and also stereotyping. When you stereotype, women is fit for only this kind of role, caregiving. This another survey. It was also brought on in your newspaper articles. Your company's act make it mandatory that in the board of directors at least one woman should be there. Your company's act specifies that. Okay. Many people don't have that, and rather they end up paying fines than hiring a female employee and promoting her to the board of directors. First. Second thing, because we were speaking something regarding stereotype, you all know at least government pay. Okay, government has to play this role where it has to hire women, try to, okay, be in a position where show to others that I am trying to do this gender parity, gender equality and all. It tries to hire women. The hire women as in women are given representation. The women that were given representation, okay, they were, let's say, okay, put into cabinet positions also. But when they were put into cabinet positions, the portfolio given were family, children, women and family welfare, something to do with social justice, education, all throughout the world. This is not for India, I'm telling, all throughout the world. Because the common assumption is that women can do good only in these roles. Now, there could be a woman, okay, who could excel at a lot of the different portfolios, but you purposely put her, you stereotype her into these roles. This is also happening. Okay, as in when we keep getting higher in the position ranks, okay, the percentage of women is dragging down. It is very, very less. Again, why stereotype? Women cannot deal with high stress situations. They cannot take effective decisions. Okay. See, on that matter, we tell the women role was given to cook traditionally. But if you look at all the cooking industry, food industry, hospitality sector, if you look at top chefs, okay, are usually male and not female. Isn't it? What is the word to use? I don't even know what word to use. Inside the house, when it is not a paid employment, a woman is supposed to do that. I'm not telling everywhere it is the same. I'm telling this is the prevalent culture. Okay, not just in India or any other place. Okay, majority places we see this. What happened to this? I think this also got angry. Yeah, but whereas when it is a paid employment, okay, that roles and usually the top chefs are filled by your male. Okay, so this is what it is that we deal with, not just for any one particular country, but as the entire globe we see this. Your Malala Yousafzai held the statement, how can we all succeed when half of us are held back? Okay, how can we all succeed when half of us are held back? All right. The representation of women is the lowest in your construction, oil, gas, mining, utilities, because it's considered women are not built or fit for that. Wholesale, manufacturing, accommodation, food services, this is their representation. The highest representation we do see, if it is in either education and government. Okay, this is the highest best we have. Okay, for example, see, education pay we have 30%, and that too the highest of representation that we have is 30% only. Government services pay 29%. Okay, just on these front. Okay, I'll just give out few quotes. Now this details you can directly, because it's a current affair also, you can directly use these information for your essay paper. Okay, Because we are on the topic of essay paper, I'll just give you some quotes which you can write it down and use it for your essay paper. I'll dictate it, you guys write it down. Okay? Clear? Okay, very good. The first quote is by APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay? Wherein he goes ahead, write this down. Empowering women, okay? Empowering women is a prerequisite. Empowering women is a prerequisite for creating. Empowering women is a prerequisite for creating a good nation. Okay? Clear up until here? Any doubts? You can also add Malala Yousafzai quote. Where? How can all of us succeed when half of us are held back? How can all of us succeed when half of us are held back? Okay? See, just because we are on the topic, Gandhi ji quoted this quote where the future depends on what you do today. If today you keep allowing this to be, so what, at least 30% is there, no, it's a big deal, so what? So if you just keep on having the same attitude today, the world front or the prospects of a new world is not a very bright shining star. This is the essay question that was posed to you in your UPSC. The hand that rocks the cradle is the one that rules the world. And here, if you look into deep, again, essay classes, we will explain all those in detail. But if you look at it, if you don't give the weightage, okay, that half your race deserves, then somewhere you're lagging very badly behind, and that will hinder the prospects for a new world, a better world, a sustainable world. Yes. Now this is something we have to act fast and sooner rather than take it at a very late progress. Understanding? Last topic for the day. Okay. Authorized economic operator. Understanding? The status was accorded to your gem and jewelry sector by your Ministry of Finance. Why is it doing? It is doing it because to import the export-import processes. Alright? Simple thing. What is an authorized economic operator? Now they are business entity okay, who are engaged in international goods movement, okay, but they require the compliance of national standards, that is your World Custom Organization. Okay, first they have to adhere to the national standards as well as to your international standards. They are there to make these people export import business life easier. Simple terms, understand that. But they have to agree to your okay, or be in accordance with your national and international framework standards. Alright? Understood up until here? Any doubts? Anything you didn't understand? Okay? Alright? Hope you enjoyed this session. I enjoyed discussing these things with you. Now, if you do like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. Alright, meet you in another current affair class. Alright, thank you, folks.